I'm Brian Hart, founder and president of Philadelphia based public relations and credibility marketing agency Flackable, and I am here today with Anthony Magaraci, founder and CEO at Trinity Packaging Supply, a leading wholesale packaging supplier headquartered in Voorhees, New Jersey. Anthony, thanks so much for joining us today. First off, can you tell us a little bit more about the early days of Trinity Packaging Supply and how the idea and concept came about?
Sure, absolutely. And Brian, thank you for having me on the show. I'm very excited to be here, and I'm very much looking forward to this. So thank you. So the early days of Trinity, it's funny. Sometimes I look back. When you're starting in the early days, you just want to be a big company, or I just wanted to be a big company. So I kept kind of looking forward to that time when we're this, we reach the next level, kind of like when you're a kid and you just want to be older, you just want to be an adult. And then by the time you're an adult, you kind of realize, oh man, I wish I was just a kid again. So sometimes it's like I have those, it's a little bit nostalgic thinking of the times back in the home office when it was kind of just me and getting out there, getting after it, cold calling. So it's fun to think back on that. So, um, the early days started. I mean, really, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So when I was in college, there was a really cool program at Rowan University, and it was called Entrepreneurship and Innovation. And I became an entrepreneur major. But when I was there, I felt like a fraud. I felt like I wasn't an entrepreneur. I didn't have an invention, or I didn't have a business model or a concept or anything. And I just thought that everyone else in the room was going to make it. And here I am, this fake entrepreneur in this program. So I graduated. A packaging supply company in the Philadelphia area found me, and I just started out in sales. I spent about 3 years there, learned the ropes, and I felt like it was time for me to make a jump and do it on my own. So I I took a leap of faith and started it from a home office, just cold calling all day, hitting industrial parks. If I wasn't in the home office, I would walk into the back of distribution centers or manufacturing facilities and ask for opportunities to quote on the packaging supplies that they were using. And I really just standardized my sales process to where I could train someone else in how to do it. And what worked for me, whether it was the technology that we use, the CRM software, the sales script, or my approach, my schedule, the numbers, the metrics, and key performance indicators that helped me. I really kind of look back what worked and what didn't to create it. I call it like a cookie cutter system, almost like a franchise does when they scale and they replicate stores. I wanted to be able to do that with what I was doing in sales.
Yeah, well, it and you started Trinity from your home office in South Jersey in 2010. I mean, how has the journey been so far?
It's been a lot of fun. It really has. It's fun when I kind of created the corporate image of Trinity, um, the model that I believed in, and being able to see the value that our company can add to our customers. And when they give you an opportunity and you save them money and everything works, um, and you have these strong relationships that are forged out of that experience, that to me it's invaluable. So it's been the relationship building has been my favorite thing, both with threefold with our employees, with our vendors and suppliers, because in the beginning there weren't too many suppliers that would give me an opportunity to sell their products. I had to kind of sell them on why they should consider me as a distributor when I didn't have a warehouse, and they would have to ship directly to our customers. Um, there were one or two that gave me a shot in the beginning, and now I'm their biggest customer. I'm their biggest distributor. So it's been fun, and the relationships that I formed with them along the way have been lifelong relationships. And then also with my employees, being able to see them start, in 2012, 2013, and they're maybe just dating, and then they get married and have a house and kids. And, you see that growth and development, not just professionally, but in every aspect of their life. And to think that Trinity, something that I created, could have been a catalyst for that. And something that they also got a lot out of. I think it's been a lot of fun.
Perfect. So we'll jump into the third question. Talk to me about Trinity's proprietary software, SupplyStream. How does that work, and how does it disrupt the packaging industry?
Okay. So SupplyStream, we created that early 2021. It's a proprietary software. We own the full technology stack, and it is the only software in the world that not only does it host SupplyFront, which is a world-class e-commerce storefront, but in the back end, it's a product information management system, and where we can aggregate all of our supplier catalogs, and it'll find the lowest price and quickest lead time depending on the shipping zip code. So what that means is for something like a roll of stretch film or a roll of packaging tape, we could have an unlimited amount of suppliers behind one SKU and behind one specification. And what our software does is it aggregates all of the suppliers behind that one SKU and one specification. And in a millisecond on our product page, it will find the supplier with the closest facility and the best price and quickest lead time, depending on where it's shipping to. While it's all standardized by specification and by the quality of the products, it's aggregating all of our supplier catalogs to be able to compete with some of the largest national packaging supply e-commerce platforms out there.
Hmm. Well, in relation to that catalog, I mean, you offer a large catalog of 80,000 plus custom products. How do you manage such a vast inventory and ensure that they do get timely delivery?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. So it's 80,000 plus stock products. These products, they're standard packaging supplies. So if you go online, like a 10 by 10 by 10 corrugated box, something that we stock. The cool thing about SupplyStream is that if there is a custom product, Brian, we can actually quote that separately, and we can add that as a stock item to the catalog, to the customer's catalog. It's in their My Supply section. So with the stock items that they might buy, like cleaning supplies or office supplies or packaging supplies, they could also have that custom printed corrugated box and order them all at the same time. And so going back to management, what we've done is, so we're in our 13th year of business, soon to be in our 14th year of business. So we've been working with these suppliers for well over a decade now. And so what we've done is we've automated the decision-making process in our supply chain as far as which suppliers fulfill the orders coming in from our customers in each of their quick ship programs, with either drop shipments or coming from one of our 4 distribution centers throughout the US. So it's managed by the support of our hundreds of suppliers, our own in-house customer service and supply chain team, and their their combined $8 billion spend. So going back to the home office in the early days, so I had to support our national account programs. They might have called me up and say, "Hey, could you give us pricing for pallets in Dallas, Texas, and Orlando, Florida, and Los Angeles, California?" And in order for me to do that, to develop a supply chain in a new market, I would have to run an RFP of about 15 to 25 different pallet yards, sell them on the relationship that I bring as an extension of their sales team for discounted below market pricing. But it would take a week to 2 weeks to be able to get pricing from each of those suppliers. And I always thought, this information is already out there in the world. They're already selling pallets. They know what they will sell it to me for. But the fact that I have to call in, introduce myself, maybe wait to hear back from a sales rep, go back and forth with negotiating, what that was doing was it was slowing the decision-making process of my customers, because they weren't able to understand the best price I could offer in those 3 markets compared to what they're paying. So I always thought, Brian, if we could have access to this information up front, we could make a decision in a second, and our customers could make a decision in an instant, because I believe that the speed of business is continuing to get faster and faster, and it's not moving backwards. So what we've done with SupplyStream is that we've pre-negotiated all of our supplier catalogs in every market in the US and in some areas of Canada. And we have that information available in an instant. And our proprietary algorithms that we've built, we've been working on this for the past 3.5 years. The proprietary algorithms that we've built will find through all of that data the lowest price and quickest lead time depending on the shipping zip code. So just as it was a wishful thought back in 2010, 2011, maybe 2012, it's very much in practice right now, and I couldn't be more excited to bring it to market.
And with all that momentum, I mean, Trinity has achieved a lot, including being a seven-time Inc. 5000 fastest growing company in America. What's next on the list? What's the next achievement we should be looking out for?
Oh man, I appreciate all of these the accolades and the awards, and it's always very humbling to be next to all of these amazing companies, and it just makes me want to work harder. So I really I'm focused on growing our company. I'm focused on continuing to add value to our existing customers, and I just really think that if I can continue that mindset, and if I can continue that mindset, um, those kind of things will happen along the way. So I'm never kind of focused. I'm never worried about like those kind of things as much as how can we add value to our customers? How can we grow our business, and share what we're doing with more customers to be able to continue to add value at scale. Um, at the same time, being able to create great careers for our employees and increase the sales from all of our suppliers. It's kind of like a win-win. I think my strategy in doing that, and I've been all in on this, is moving to a digital platform, and I think that that's the future. The future is when buyers come in, if they're an enterprise buyer in a procurement department, they want to be able to have access to information instantly. The days of waiting 6 months to run a request for proposal, and have a slow inertia, and then even by the time you get results, the market changes. To be able to have this information available instantly and repeatedly and consistently, that's the future.
So let's talk a little bit about the past. You have how have you seen the packaging industry evolve since you first started Trinity, and what's brewing now?
So when I first started Trinity, the mindset was to walk into the back of distribution centers or manufacturing facilities where allowed, and be able to take a consultative approach to sales. Because if I didn't have a warehouse, or I didn't have a multi-billion-dollar spend, but I'm competing with these companies that have hundreds of millions of dollars in spend and buying power, the way that I would be able to be priced under them is to make recommendations for different products that were less expensive. Show our customers how to use less packaging, right? And that's very much still our business to business mindset, but at the same time, there's this wave of a transition. If you look at the stats from any kind of major wholesale supplier, whether it's industrial supplies in Granger, whether it's packaging supplies with Uline, um, anyone that you read about, their sales are moving. Anyone that you read about in wholesale distribution, they're moving to e-commerce. 75% of their orders come in online. They're getting maybe 8 million visitors on their website every month. As much as I like to think I was great at cold calling, I can't hit those kind of numbers hitting the pavement. So as much as I love that old fashioned sales approach, the handshake approach, adding value, roll up your sleeves and wrap up some pallets yourself to show them the stretch film works. The real answer is there's this wave of a transition from old school business to business sales to instant access to information for any one of our 80,000 SKUs, and to reach millions of people, right? And to be able to do that in a competitive way, in a business model that our business model is, we're really cutting off the second leg of distribution, where it used to go from a either wholesaler or manufacturer, shipped to one of our distribution centers, shipped to the customer. We've, over the past decade, have been developing quick ship programs with our suppliers. So we'll have a dedicated stock in one of our suppliers' facilities, and it ships directly to the customer. It's unprecedented. It took a lot of negotiation. It took a lot of 10 people would say, "Oh, that's cute. You want us to be a distributor? Well, we want you to be a distributor," right? And I had to kind of deal with that. But some people saw the opportunity and saw that model. And that's, I think that with Amazon, with what just happened with COVID and more people ordering online than ever, suppliers are embracing the drop ship model. And so we're really leveraging that. We're leveraging our suppliers drop shipping supplies with quick ship programs, whereas in the past it was unprecedented or an exception to the rule. That's become the standard. So what we've done is we've standardized all of the data behind that, and we've brought that to a digital e-commerce platform where you can get supplies the next day anywhere in the country. It's the same specification supply, and the pricing is competitive because there's all of those costs are cut out of going into that product.
Mhm. And what are some of the bigger industry trends that you see shaping the future of this 200 billion-dollar packaging industry?
So the trends are there's a shift in dynamic from investing in um, business to business sales teams and management and the layers of management that go with that. It tends to be a cumbersome process, and the yield, while you can go out and get really big national accounts from something like that, you can't reach the amount of numbers that a digital marketing strategy can reach. So the shift is in pay-per-click campaigns, is in the Google Marketplace. The shift is in really being able to sell on every single type of e-commerce platform that or marketplace that will host your items to be able to reach as many people as possible. So, our metrics and KPIs might be hundreds of people a week, whereas um, the digital marketing strategy is millions. And I think that's the shift, that's the transition, and that's the future. I think people that aren't investing in this type of technology are going to be left behind. In particular, well, kind of edit that. In particularly, a lot of enterprise companies are they're investing in procurement software, and the procurement software, they're looking for companies that can tie into their procurement systems. So if you don't have a catalog that can tie into any kind of enterprise procurement system, you're going to be left behind, because there's this huge wave of finding efficiencies with digital invoicing, with digital procurement, with digital payments through these enterprise procurement systems. And I think that people are looking to leverage that to achieve a larger group spend with the other companies that are using this software, and then also gain efficiencies with making it less expensive to process invoices and purchase orders and the cost of doing business. So if we can meet that wave of demand, we anticipate hypergrowth.
Yep. Well, and Anthony, lastly, what are some of the best ways for viewers to connect with you and to follow Trinity Packaging Supply and just continuing to follow your growth and your pursuit of really changing an industry?
Well, they say be careful what you wish for. So I don't know but if you do want to follow us, we have a really great, in all seriousness, we have a great social media team. And so if they can follow us on Instagram at Trinity PKGS, Facebook, LinkedIn, we're doing a lot with. We have a really cool series called Steve's Words of Wisdom. We have an in-house. Our CEO is a Lean Six Sigma black belt, and he has just a great personality and sense of humor. And what he does is he kind of dispels the myths of, well, what's the difference between a micron versus gauge, or the imperial versus metric system when I'm analyzing specifications? Should I be using steel strapping or poly strapping, and for what applications? And he kind of breaks it down in a cool, quick video. So, and just check us out at Trinity.global. It's our new e-commerce platform. You can get supplies delivered next day anywhere in the country, and we have packaging's largest catalog of over 80,000 supplies.
Well, Anthony, I want to thank you again for your time today joining City Biz. I'm Brian Hart. I want to thank all the viewers for tuning in to this CEO series. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for having me. Thanks, everyone.
Yep, thanks so much.